All right. Here we go, back again on the other side of the coin. All right, welcome back to the other side of the coin, ladies and gentlemen. It's good to get the 3 points, isn't it? It's just so good to get the 3 points. The weekend is that much better when you get the 3 points. And when Monday comes around, you feel satisfied, you feel happy, and you can look forward to the week again. And look, man, sometimes you gotta win dirty, man. Sometimes, it's not gonna be pleasant, and those are the wins that really make the difference. Do you know what I mean? Those are the wins that really make the difference. Yesterday definitely wasn't one of our best performances, but we know what we can do. We know what our best is, and as I said, you're not always going to come up 100% every single match, and it's important on the matches where you're not 100% that you come up with 3 points like that, where individuals step up big time. Do you know what I mean? Individuals stepping up and fighting for the honor of the football club. You know what I mean? Not just folding and giving up and just going in the flow, because we could have easily lost that game, but we didn't. And I watched the highlights of the Leeds versus Arsenal game, and I kid you not, Arsenal had the same sort of situation like us. Leeds were all over them. Thing with Arsenal, they had to manage to keep one goal. Do you know what I mean? We at least had two later down the track. But much like Arsenal, they get the victory, we get our victory, and we now look forward to Brentford. And you know what? These type of victories, they will give you confidence to the playing group. They will give you confidence throughout the squad. It brings everyone together with all the injuries that we've had. And to key players, do you know what I mean, that are still injured. Reece James, big loss. Wesley Fofana, N'Golo Kante. This will bring the group together, and everyone will fight for each other, and it just builds character, man. Wins like that builds character, and I'm hoping that against Brentford, it's a much better outing. Even Graham Potter said post-match, sometimes you just got to suffer, and you got to suffer as a team. Digital Film Reviews, good to see you, my man. What does Kepa Rise mean for Mendy and his contract? Very interesting point. We will talk about this. We'll, of course, talk about some of the quotes that Kepa has been saying post-match. What a story, ladies and gentlemen. What an inspiration, man. Like, this guy was dead. This guy was buried. This guy was insulted, abused, left, right, center, everything you can imagine. Kepa Arrizabalaga was done. No one ever expected this level of comeback. Even last season, under Thomas Tuchel, there were moments of very good sort of signs. Every time he got an opportunity, he did well. But now what we are seeing, my days, this is an epic level of comeback. From where he was under Frank Lampard, he was shattered. He was done. The confidence was gone. This man didn't even know how to be a keeper. Do you know what I mean? Every shot was a disaster. Every time the ball went near him, we as a fan base were worried. But the way he has turned it around, and the amount of time, since that season, he's been rumored to leave the club, and it just hasn't happened. Thank God that he stuck around. His confidence now at the moment is unbelievable. We will obviously talk about those sensational saves that he made yesterday, but let's not forget the distributions as well. There were times where he would just ping the ball from deep and he'll find a player. There was at least twice where I remember where he just pinged it from his goalkeeping position to boom into midfield or even further up. With ease, with ease. There were a couple of times where he was a sweeper keeper as well. And then, very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. What does Kepa's rise mean for Mendy and his contract? I don't know. Based for the time being, Mendy needs to compete. And I want to see how Mendy reacts to all of this, because Kepa, throughout this whole situation, has been a pure professional. No controversy in social media, no controversy with any journalist, articles, this, that, the other. Nothing. No back chat, no interviews. Kept quiet, kept working, kept continuing on. Saw the rise of Mendy right in front of his eyes. Saw the team win important matches with Mendy. Kept going on. In fact, he would actually sit in the bench and shout out instructions. He's actually instructing what players need to do, where they need to be. This guy is all for Chelsea Football Club, man. He is all for Chelsea Football Club. He loves the club, man. And now he is undoubtedly the number one goalkeeper under Graham Potter. Graham Potter loves his skill set. Mendy has to compete, and I don't know whether the contract Mendy has sort of reneged. Is the new contract still available? Is it still on the cards? Is it still on the table? Does Mendy take it? Does he wait? Does he think that he's, should be worth a lot more money than whatever he's on right now? Probably is. I'm not taking anything away from Mendy. Mendy's still a stupendous goalkeeper. You don't go from being in the Champions League winning team and then winning the goalkeeper Yassin Trophy and a few other stuff as well, Europe's best goalkeeper or something like that. You don't go from that situation to a nobody. Do you know what I mean? So, but it is an interesting situation with Mendy. What do you do? What does he do? In my perspective, you've got to show that you can compete. I'm pretty sure he's going to get an opportunity to play very soon. I don't know any of the upcoming matches, but maybe against City in the Carabao Cup, perhaps he might get an opportunity. Kepa might get a bit of rest. But Kepa, man, what an inspiration, ladies and gentlemen. What an inspiration. Honestly, take away football for a second. Think about your own lives. Think about your own lives. How many times were you in a situation where you're like, man, I'm just going to give up, man. I can't handle it anymore, man. This is too much. This guy has come out from that situation and gone on top. Luck obviously plays a big factor, but you've got to take the luck. You 100% have to take the luck. Ladies and gentlemen, nearly 100 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button. Get those likes up to 100 immediately. And as we go on, we'll interact with more of your comments. Let's see what you guys have to say. If Kepa can re-establish himself as Chelsea's long-term number one, I'd be so happy. He costs so much. He needs to succeed. Look, the cost, Mish, is he the one who's created the cost? Is he the one who put a price tag on him? We're the ones who went out there and paid overs for this particular player. I'm not blaming cost on him. Do you know what I mean? I get your sentiment though. You want to ensure that the amount of money that we've spent on Kepa, that there is some sort of a return. I understand that completely, but the cost isn't really on him, is it? Kepa with his new fiance needs to be protected. Clearly, his confidence keeper. Hope he doesn't break up with this girl. And look, this is the thing. Sometimes we forget. Footballers, man, they're human beings. Matters outside of football does complicate matters within football. So, looks like he's having a happy time at the moment with his personal life, and it's definitely helping him out in game. This is what Kepa had to say, ladies and gentlemen. Kepa Arrizabalaga, post-match: I'm feeling very well, with confidence with and without the ball, self-confidence and belief in your work, in what you're doing, and belief in your process is very important. Of course, I had really tough moments, I'm enjoying all the work. I mean, I love this, man. I love this. This sort of conversation is sensational. Kepa, after a big win away in the Champions League, it is not easy coming again to the Premier League. Be focused, go away, travel. We are winning at big stadiums. Winning here is not easy. Winning in Milan is not easy. We are getting the manager's ideas better and better. Further goes on to say, I'm feeling very well with confidence with and without the ball. Self-confidence and belief in your work, in what you're doing, and belief in the process is very important. I mean, look, this is the truth. This is the absolute truth. You know, coming off from a very high against AC Milan, maybe this kind of performance probably might have been expected, right? Like you're in a euphoric sort of state in your mind. You know, you've just beaten AC Milan twice back to back. Hard to come into the Premier League and adjust again, but we got the victory, man. Very important, and thanks to Kepa and Mason Mount, Kepa kept us in the game, and obviously Mason Mount with a couple of the individual moments. Obviously, one pouncing on error, and the other one a sensational free kick. But overall, I think after he scored that free kick, his game was actually a lot better than prior to that, I feel. But then again, the entire team wasn't really up to the mark. So, look, man, very, very happy with Kepa, and I hope it all continues. Let's see a few more of your comments before we go to the next player. Zbu Makola, Kepa must just be given game time. He's showing great signs. When the team is perfect as a whole, we can rely on him. Kepa player manager. Do you know what? I would not be surprised if down the track Kepa becomes a manager, man. He's got that quality. The amount of times, every time there's a break, he comes out and he talks to the players, whether it's midfielders, defenders, strikers. He's always got some good suggestion to give. And the players seem like they're listening to him as well. So, you know, he's well respected. Matthew, good to see you, my man. Big up, Miz. Big up to you as well. Tim B, Kepa will keep it up. He hit the lowest of the lows and he's built himself up to where he is now with hard work and persistence. There's a level of confidence that doesn't go away. I love him, man. I love it. Tariq A. Alam, Kepa transfer was really deadline stuff. Courtois left and we had to pay release clause. Not his fault. Exactly. This is why I say the price is not set by Kepa Arrizabalaga. It is literally set by us, pretty much. Okay. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about Mason Mount. This guy, since Graham Potter has taken over. Yesterday, obviously, some really good individual moments, but it's prior to that. The AC Milan game, the Wolves game, the AC Milan game again, 3 back-to-back. And then this game, he was rewarded with the goals that he probably should have got in the previous games. This guy, this is what I want to see. He's honestly turning out to be the player that I expect in our midfield. Quick, passing, vision with the assists as well. Now he's banging in goals. Fantastic. I think in the last 4 games, I just want to see his last 4 games. Mason Mount. His last 4 games have been quite incredible, actually. He's on the verge of getting a new contract. I hope this isn't just for the new contract. I don't think so. I think Mason Mount he's Chelsea through and through, man. Much like Reece James. I'm hoping even after the new contract that he absolutely bosses. Do you know what I mean? So look at this. So far, 9 Premier League matches, 2 goals, 2 assists, 4 in Champions League, 3 assists. That is good return in Champions League with 3 assists. I want to see him pile up the assists. I really do. Really want to see him pile up the assists. Total 13 matches, 2 goals, 5 assists. But in recent times, he's picked that up, and I hope it continues. He's an important player. He really has turned out to be an important player. After almost, I'd say, at least 6, 7, 8, 9 months of not being complete, the last 3, 4 matches, we're starting to see. We are starting to see the midfielder that we've always wanted to see. So, sensational. Look at this. 2 assists against AC Milan, man. That ain't no joke, man. 45 minutes as well. 45 minutes. I think one of them is a penalty. Looks like they give an assist for the penalty, which is fine. I've got no issues with that. I think they should probably give assists for winning penalties, to be honest. Probably deserved to get some assist in this particular match against AC Milan. He was very good in that match. Definitely, there was a moment I remember Sterling had a chance. Definitely should have got an assist for that. Salzburg, he gets that assist. And in the Premier League, as you can see, it's really starting to turn around. 2 assists against Wolves, 2 goals against Aston Villa. I hope he is fit and ready to go against Brentford, because Brentford is going to be tough and we need this brother, because this brother's game, not just with the ball, but without the ball, is very good at the moment. Yeah, aggressive. So I absolutely appreciate it, and I can't wait. I think when he gets the new contract, it's going to be a buzzing situation for all of us. I hope he doesn't get overplayed, though. You're right. Yeah. This is where Graham Potter. Do you know what I like? And we need to talk a little bit about Graham Potter as well. Do you know what I like about Graham Potter? There's a lot to like about Graham Potter, but the one thing that really sticks out from yesterday is he probably didn't get the lineup right. And I think post-match, Graham Potter said it as well. Like, sometimes you don't get the balance right. Like, obviously, he chose Cucurella, and he believed that Cucurella could do a job in that LCB. And Cucurella has done a job in LCB previously, and a very, very good job. Do you know what I mean? Like, he plays that role well. But he saw that yesterday, that just wasn't working out. The balance wasn't right. Do you know what I mean? The balance wasn't right. And he made the change. He saw halfway through the first half that something in midfield, and they were getting too much love on that right side. They were getting a lot of love on the left side as well, but too much love on that right side as well. And he quickly moved Ruben Loftus-Cheek from midfield to the wing back spot, brought Mason Mount into the pivot. Graham Potter is not scared to make those tweaks, because if he sees something and it's not working out, he's not the one that will just stand on the side and just hope for the best. He's actually proactive on a regular basis, continuously being proactive. Halftime, making changes. Post halftime, continuously making changes. So look, I'm very confident that he won't run any players down to the ground. So Mason Mount will get his rightful breaks, and so will everyone else. Over 120 of you guys are live. Only 37 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Please bump up the likes. I keep stressing to you guys, the growth of the channel is purely based on the likes. If you enjoy the channel, you want to see the channel going to exponential areas, have a growth that is meteoric, and you want a channel to do well, smash the like button. Get those likes up to 100. The more likes, the more YouTube recommends to others, and the more the buzzing the live chat will be. Shubra, I watched the match again. Mace was actually better than I initially thought. Maybe, do you know what? Maybe I should watch the match as well. A lot of people have been saying he's been good. I think I just got caught up with that first half. No one was good in that first half, and maybe I just put Mace in that bracket. But I definitely did notice after scoring that second goal, Mace got a lot better. He got a lot better. But maybe his performance, wasn't as bad as the whole team's performance. You know what I mean? I think Kai was actually fine. He was making nice passes and runs, and just the lineup wasn't right, and was the sacrificial lamb. Look, Kai Havertz. We tend to talk about Kai Havertz every week now. He wasn't, okay, let's just say for argument's sake, T1, he wasn't bad. Let's just say. But I feel like, is that good enough? Is that good enough, ladies and gentlemen? Nearly 130 of you guys are live right now. Is Kai Havertz not been bad in a match? Is that good enough? We're not even talking about just yesterday. We're talking about since the start of this season. We've now played 10 Premier League games. We've now played a handful of Champions League games. We've also had the preseason. We've also seen last season, there was only a purple patch where Kai Havertz was very good. We've also seen Frank Lampard's first season. Where do we stand with Kai Havertz? Where are we standing with Kai Havertz? I don't think it's good enough to just say, I don't think he was bad. We've got to expect a lot more from Kai Havertz, man. Mason Mount, look at what Mason Mount's all about. Kai Havertz, need him to win us games, man. I know he won the Champions League, I get that, but we can't just be hanging our hat just on the basis of that. Need him to carry the team sometimes single-handedly, win games for us single-handedly. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like his game is too open. He gets dispossessed. Some of his shots are weak. His passing up misplaced. Look, I expect a lot more, man. I really do. I expect a lot more. Havertz was awful. He wasn't a sacrificial lamb. He got hooked because he was not good enough. I tend to think so as well. Havertz, in my opinion, hasn't been effective. His finishing is poor and his dribbling is almost non-existent. Once again, I tend to agree. We need to have a serious convo about Kai, man. He's not good enough for a 72 million signing after nearly 2.5 seasons. Yeah, look, I feel like this season is probably Kai Havertz's ultimate season. If he doesn't do well, I think Kai Havertz will probably be Bayern Munich bound, or wherever, somewhere in Bundesliga. I can't really picture him going elsewhere. I can't really picture him anywhere else in the Premier League. So it will have to be Bundesliga. German international, he'll definitely have some value. T1, thank you so much for the super chat. 140 of you guys are live right now. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. Let's drag it to 160 likes so far. 40 more likes. Let's get to 100, and then we'll try and reach levels beyond that. We'll talk about the next player very soon, which will be Dennis Zakaria, which will be very, very interesting to talk about. What is going on with Dennis Zakaria? We need to have a chat. T1, thank you for the super chat. As I said, De Bruyne and Salah are the reasons I don't want to give up on Kai quickly. He did carry us a bit end of last season. Probably not end of last season, because there were some mad misses. I remember against Man United last season and against a few other teams as well. There were moments where he should have got some assists too, which some of our other players couldn't finish. But middle of the season, it was sort of post the Club World Cup. He had a good stint. But the way we finished, everyone else wasn't good. But yeah, look, I hear you. Salah, De Bruyne, but not everyone's going to be that story. Do you know what I mean? Not everyone will be that story. Some may not turn out to be like that. Do you know what I mean? Dennis is unlucky. He had fantastic development in Gladbach until his injury. He can assert himself, but he needs confidence and form. He's in a negative circle at the moment because he's not getting any game time. Christopher Speicher, BSE Young Boys, so Switzerland, Swiss sort of connection there. He was one of the most dominant midfielders until his injury. This came at the worst possible time for him. He needs 2 or 3 games in which he can show himself, and then, of course, he has to perform. Look, where are we? Where are we with this player, ladies and gentlemen? Where are we? Yesterday, there was a point where a few people in the live chat, we had nearly like 600, 700 people live, and few people were like, bring Zakaria on, bring Zakaria. I'm like, under what sort of under what mindset that someone actually is saying, bring Zakaria on? Like, what have we seen of Zakaria so far to say, bring Zakaria on? Like, how can one actually give a suggestion yesterday when we were getting pumped by Aston Villa at one stage? How can one actually make a suggestion that brings Zakaria on? He's not even featured for Chelsea. He's barely featured for Switzerland in recent times, and he barely featured for Juventus. And we wanted to bring him in against a team that was all over us yesterday for good parts of the game. I feel that would have been disastrous. I feel he would have been absolutely mauled. But yeah, how do we see him? Like, how do we get to give this guy some minutes? At the moment, Ruben Loftus-Cheek has got that midfield locked up. He could potentially play a little bit on that right wing back spot. Then we've got Conor Gallagher as well, who needs, who'll get game time there. Kovacic and Jorginho are very, very important players for us in that position. How's this guy going to get game time? Where is he going to get game time? Then there's Chukwuemeka. Live chat, 150 plus of you guys are live right now. Who would you want to see? Chukwuemeka get minutes or Zakaria? Would you want Zakaria to get minutes ahead of Chukwuemeka? I'd be baffled. Zakaria is not even our player. He's on loan. Chukwuemeka is someone we bought for 20 million, approximately, I think. I don't want to see Zakaria. I want to see Chukwuemeka. If anyone needs to come into midfield, it has to be Chukwuemeka. After all of those names that I've just read out, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, Conor Gallagher, Kante's injured, Jorginho, Kovacic, sometimes even Mason Mount sort of comes into midfield. After all of them, if we still have a spot, it needs to be Chukwuemeka, not Dennis Zakaria. I'm sorry. Chukwuemeka is our player. Dennis Zakaria is on loan with us. And if anything, we're probably going to cancel that loan. So how could the fan base scream for Dennis Zakaria? How could you scream for Dennis Zakaria? You should be if everything sort of goes south, you should be asking for you should be asking for Chukwuemeka to come on. Chukwu for me, for sure. Chukwu for sure. Chukwu all day. Chukwu in a heartbeat. Chukwu has tons of potential, exactly. It depends on the position. Carney isn't a pivot player. How old is he? Explosive gamer. I honestly, I love you. I respect you. You're a regular on the channel. But can I just be honest? It depends on the position. Carney isn't a pivot player. Do we realize how old Carney Chukwuemeka is? How can we just from the get-go just pencil him down as not a pivot player? The kid's 18. He can be anything we want him to be. Why are we already at the age of 18 saying he's not a pivot player? Like acting as if he's some sort of a 26, 27-year-old midfielder. Oh, he's not a pivot player. We've seen plethora of hours and hours of football of him. He's not a pivot player. We can make him to be anything we want him to be. Do you know what I mean? If we want him to be a pivot player, he'll be a pivot player. So, and our pivot players, one of the pivot player is generally a box to box anyway. So, we'll see what happens. Okay, let's have a look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Thiago Silva's family, we don't have any plans to leave Chelsea because we're really enjoying here, and Thiago still has a contract here. Look, once again, probably in defense yesterday, it was wild at times. The one man that was the standout was Thiago Silva. This guy, it's becoming a joke. The amount of times he ends up being the main centerpiece, the main person, always keeping things together for us is Thiago Silva. At the age of 38, my days, at the age of 38, how this guy just continues to perform is beyond me, man. It's beyond me. Honestly, I would love if he just stayed one more season after the World Cup, even two, whatever, 3, 4, 5 seasons. If you can carry on, my man, if you can carry on, just carry on with Chelsea Football Club, man. As Thiago Silva's, Bell Silva over here saying, we don't have any plans to leave Chelsea because we're really enjoying here, and Thiago still has a contract. He's fantastic. I hope we can give him an extension and just keep extending as long as he can perform, as long as he has a desire to carry on. Man, just carry on, man. This guy is invaluable to us. Absolutely invaluable. Told you, Miz Thiago is here to stay until at least 40. I hope so, bro. I really do. I really do. I guess I was just setting myself up for what may happen. Do you know what I mean? He's not always going to be here, so I just set myself up with a lower expectation so I don't get hurt. Thiago Silva is a beast at 38. He performs better than some of the decent players do in their primes. 100%, man. 100%. Miss Check managing Barca's tweet. I mentioned you just... Let me have a look. What did you mention? A lot of doubts at starting to rise within the club on if Raphinha should have been signed or not. Look, who's this guy? Javi Miguel Club. I mean, were those quotes real, by the way? Where apparently Xavi said he's not sure if Raphinha is really Brazilian. Was that quote true from Xavi? There were some quotes going out yesterday that Xavi said, "I don't really think. I doubt if he's really Brazilian." Can someone tell me in the live chat if that's legit? Because that sounded weird to me. But look, man, Raphinha's, yeah, okay. Everyone's saying, no, that's fake. Fair enough. Yeah, I thought so. I was like, no way Xavi would say such a thing. Look, ladies and gentlemen, Raphinha is not a bad player, man. Raphinha is not a player. He's just probably having a rough time. We know what he did for Leeds. But the thing that I will say, though, is you chose not to come to us. You chose to go to Barcelona. So now you suffer. Do you know what I mean? Now you suffer. You chose to stay at Barcelona, go to Barcelona when we were heavily wanting you. Now, forget it. Time's lapsed. Time's gone on. You had your opportunity to join Chelsea Football Club, but we've moved on. You've selected who you've selected. And we will look forward to Christopher Nkunku, and hopefully we will get Rafa Leao. So, toodles. Ladies and gentlemen, over 170 of you guys are live right now. 73 likes, only 27 likes away from 100 likes. It will be sensational if we can hit 100 during the live stream. And if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, look, at times we got to perform like, we got to win ugly. And yesterday, opposition was all over us, but we held on, and we got the victory courtesy of Kepa and Mason Mount. Ruben Loftus-Cheek wasn't that bad as well in midfield. And it's a very good victory for us, very good 3 points. And now we look forward to Brentford, which isn't going to be easy. But do you know what? I've been saying that maybe off the back of that victory against Aston Villa, maybe it will just wake the team up a little bit that, hey, we can't be complacent. Do you know what I mean? We can't take things lightly. This is how the table looks like, ladies and gentlemen. 180 of you guys are live. Let's smash the like button, get those likes up to 100 immediately. People smash the like. Miz always provides awesome content. Thank you so much, my man. I mean, they're nice to watch, but if there's no output, we are good without those overrated players. Need a better performance with 3 points against Brentford. Yeah. So, look, Brentford next up, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe it was good to get that performance out of the way against Aston Villa. Hopefully against Brentford, we put on a show. 9 played, 6 wins, 1 draw, 2 losses, 19 points. 4 behind Spurs, who have got a game in hand, and Arsenal, man. These guys, can someone just Stop these guys a little bit, man. Just don't want them to run away. 10 games, 27 points. They've got now a 4-point lead on Man City. Just need them to slow down a little bit. Man United is just behind us. They got a game in hand just like us. They're 3 points behind. Brentford are 9th. Brentford, look, I remember last season, Brentford creamed us. It was last season, wasn't it? I'm pretty certain. Brentford beat us like 4-1 right at the end, like when we were going through the sanctions and all of that. Chelsea versus Brentford. Yeah, I remember. It was like late. Yeah, there we go. There's that one. Look at that. That 4-1. April. I remember that, man. I really do. That loss was huge. They absolutely creamed us in that game. What the hell is this? I want none of that. Go away, man. This was our team. Mendy, Rudiger, Silva, Aspilicueta, Alonso, Kante, Loftus-Cheek, Mount, Havertz, Ziyech, Werner. That team got ripped apart, man. Against that Brentford team right here. Yeah. We can't take it easily, man. We can't take it easily. We got to respect them. Ivan Toney, if anything, has gotten better since then. So we have to respect it. Miz, you were against St. Maximin coming to us. Raphinha has been even worse than him. All glitz and no substance. Look, it's preference, isn't it, man? Maximin has been very good this season, but I'm not a crystal ball looking into the future, some sort of a, magician who can see what the future holds. I was talking about based on at that point in the summer. St. Maximum has always been a very good 1v1 player, but his final third output, I never completely appreciated it. I thought he probably should have done more, but then again, maybe it's Newcastle, but his output at times was just not giving me the good vibes. Whereas Raphinha, for me, in the final third, felt a little bit better. And I think with Chelsea, and you have to remember, it was still Thomas Tuchel, thinking from that sort of inside forward or even as a wing back player, it kind of made sense to have someone like Raphinha. But yeah, it's all gone south, hasn't it? Like, Maxim was doing good. I think he's still injured for Newcastle, but before that he was doing really well. And Raphinha on the other side, not doing that well. But there was some stats I read the other day that Raphinha's numbers in terms of he's created the most opportunities apparently in La Liga. Can someone confirm that? I saw some stats saying Raphinha has created the most opportunities, just not been converted. And apparently has taken the most shots as well. So yeah, maybe it's just a matter of time. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to wrap things up. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button before you go. 17 more likes before we get 100. And you shall see me once again later UK time, roughly around 8:30, 9 p.m., wrapping up the day's news. Hope you've enjoyed this stream and this live chat and the discussion. Yeah, good to talk about some of the players that have been doing well, and good to have that feel good vibe. 14 more likes before we get 100. So if you can get those 14 likes to reach 100 likes, that'd be much appreciated. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya.